Hi everybody, Gus here in the shop today, 40 years of woodworking experience. We're going to do a cedar bird feeder today. There is a problem with this bird feeder. I'd like you to see if you can figure out what it is other than the poor quality of this video. I've got to really work on how I record these, but be patient, I'm still new at this. I've already cut my pieces on a table saw. At a later date, I'll give you the dimensions and the cutout sizes. Also, the trees I cut on a CNC, but they can be done with a scroll saw or a saber saw for that matter. What I'm doing here now is assembling the roof, kind of starting from the top, working my way down. I'm going to do something a little new for me. I'm going to try to build this without any fasteners. I'm going to use CA glue with an activator, and also Titebond 3 glue for waterproof. Of course, this is going to be outside. As you can see, I'm just putting dabs of wood glue on there, and also going to put the CA glue on there, put it together, and then spray the activator on it. You might have noticed that the bottle I've got the Titebond glue in is not a Titebond glue container. Well, that's an old detergent bottle, small enough to put glue in the handle. Also, I like the way the top snaps together. You can buy containers online. Personally, I use old ketchup bottles, old detergent bottles, just about anything that's got a really nice top on it and small enough that I can handle. So just a little tip there for you guys. Also, I'm building this out of a fence picket. It's rough, it's 5/8 inch thick. I kind of like the rustic look for this outside. I frankly don't think the birds will care. I just like the look of it. What we're going to do is, after we get this thing put together, we're going to sand over the edges, just sand it, just to make it look a little bit better, but still leave that rough looking texture to it. And then I'm going to do a burn finish on it, which I'll show you at the end of this video with a picture. I'm not actually going to show the burning of it. We're moving on here to the bottom. Again, these, I believe, if I remember right, they're 10 inches a piece. I cut the sides to 1 3/4 on the table saw. And then I like to use a chop saw. You can do it on a table saw. And let's remember, table saw is considered one of the most dangerous tools in your shop, especially for us small guys. So let's be careful, pay attention. I like to say that you need to be afraid every time you use that table saw. That way it makes you think about what you're doing and being very careful. And if you're uncomfortable, just don't do it. Again, you can see I'm applying CA glue along with the Titebond glue, and we're just going to put it together here. Mash it together, hold it, 10 to 20 seconds. Of course, the activator will speed it up. So it goes together pretty easily from what I found out. If you're interested in building this bird feeder, just let me know down in the comments, and I'll put a short video together showing you how I cut the sides, and also how I draw out the tree and then cut it. Basically on the tree, I just went to Google, found a tree I liked. I had maneuvered around just a little bit because the tree limbs were so small that the bit wouldn't cut it where they would be sturdy and strong. Also, has anybody figured out what's wrong with this video? To me, it's just a crazy thing that happened. I asked a friend to stop by a local Lowe's here and pick up a cedar fence picket. Well, he went to the bin, and in his defense, he doesn't know much about wood, but a very good friend, and offered to do this. So he went to Lowe's, went to the cedar bin, which they clearly had marked with a sign, cedar pickets. Well, he picks it up, buys it, brings it back to me and presents it to me, and guess what? It was a treated southern yellow pine picket. You would think Lowe's would be sure that they mark their bins properly. I just wonder how many people bought this picket and thought they were buying cedar, and it turned out to be treated southern yellow pine. Frankly, on the bird feeder, I don't think it would matter that much. I don't feel that it would leach into the feed that the birds are eating. You definitely wouldn't want to build a birdhouse out of it. Uh, I don't like the idea of using the treated, but I feel it'll work fine. I will in the future build another one out of cedar. As you can see, I just started on the sides. I'll glue up the sides of this bottom first, then I'll put the end pieces on. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Again with the Titebond 3 and the CA glue. Also, while I'm at it, I mentioned the table saw. One of the saws that I love most in my shop is a chop saw. Uh, I know there are people who say there are better tools to have, but if it's me, I buy a table saw and then I buy a chop saw. And as far as budget, you can find chop saws on Marketplace on Facebook all the time. And people usually are giving them away at a great price. So that's a place to look to buy your chop saw. I just feel it does a great job on cutting. It can help you set up your cuts on your table saw. You want to set your blade at a 45-degree angle. Hey, cut you a piece of scrap to 45 degrees on your chop saw and then just put it up against the blade. At a later date, I think I'll put a short video together showing how I do this. Pretty straightforward, makes it easy. You don't have to worry with gauges, any of that. It just works extremely well. As you can see here, we've pretty much finished the bottom. We're going to drill some holes in the bottom of it to allow water to escape. I believe you can hear my air compressor cutting on in the background. My sons are doing some work in the other part of the shop. Okay, this is the part that I think is the best part of this video. We're going to set these trees on the side or on the end pieces of the tray, and we're just going to hold them in place with some clamps. At this point, don't worry too much about getting the spacing right on the end. We're doing this so that when you attach the roof, everything comes together. We set the roof on top, then we measure it to be sure that our clearance on either side is equal. It comes out to about 5/8 of an inch, I believe. After we do that, all we do is just really pull the top off, put some CA glue, put the Titebond glue on it, and set it back on it. Now, if you're uncomfortable moving it around or whatever, you can cut you a little spacer so there's no moving the roof back and forth. But with this gel CA glue, it takes a little longer to set up. I like that because you can maneuver the roof around till you get it exactly. And once that's done, just press it in place, let it sit before you pull it off. And after you pull the roof off along with the trees, it's pretty much done for spacing. You don't have to worry about it. Everything will come back together fairly easy. Hey, I just want to bring this up. As you can tell, I'm pretty new at this YouTube stuff, and I'm struggling to get these videos made and have them look right. I would appreciate any advice you could give me on how to better do this and what you'd look for in this. If you'd place that in the comments, I would appreciate it. And if you think you got anything out of this video, please like it. It just lets me know that I'm kind of on the right path. It's just a struggle for just an old woodworker. And frankly, I am an old woodworker. Just ask my sons, they would tell you that. What I'm doing here is I'm centering up these trees on the end pieces before I put the roof line on it. This is just to get it as close as I could to the center of the end pieces. Doesn't have to be exact. The birds aren't going to notice if you're off an eighth of an inch. I don't think anybody else will notice it if it's off an eighth of an inch. It's just to get it to come together a little quicker. After I get them set, I'll come in and put a couple of little marks on each end, preferably with a pencil. Frankly, all I had right at my fingertips was an ink pen. Don't really recommend that, but you can, and it's not even noticeable once I get it burned. After getting these end pieces centered, we're pretty much ready to set the roof on top. And again, you just want to do the 5/8 overhang on each end. Finally got that right. Overhang instead of spacing. Again, new at this, a little nervous. Hope you can understand and put up with it. As you can see, I'm applying the CA glue and the Tight Bond 3 on top. Turn it around, just being double sure I've got it right. Setting the roof on top, which you can barely see because of my great filming of this video. Be sure my overhangs are right. I'm using a tape measure just to double check myself. Usually you can just feel it and know that it's there after you've done this a while. And most beginners will have the same experience. It just kind of comes natural to us. We can feel the spacing with either or both hands. Okay, I'm just kind of looking at it, checking my spacing, just looking it over, admiring my work, I guess is what I'm doing. So we pulled it back off. We've got our marks in place. We're checking to be sure that everything's good and sturdy. Wiped our glue off. We've applied some glue and CA glue to the tree trunks. And from here, we're just kind of looking at the spacing, see how it looks, and getting everything kind of lined up, and going to put some clamps on it. And after it sits up, we're good to go. Of course, after I put it together, I decided to put a little more CA glue around the trunk a little bit, just to give it a little added strength. Because I'm not using any fasteners here, then I spray the activator on it. Just gives it a little extra strength, and I think it's just a good point. And primarily the reason I built this without fasteners, most of small woodworkers, when you're starting out, which that's what I was when I started, it's hard to have an air compressor, hard to have a brad gun to do this with. And here's the finished look. I think it turned out pretty well. Hi, if you're still here at the end of the video, you're patient people. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it.